Welcome to For the Common Good with Juanita, a show where we inform, inspire, and empower our communities, businesses, and people just like you. I am really excited about the show today because we're talking about Unleash the Speaker Within. That sounds exciting. And we have the perfect guest to talk to us about that. Barbara H. Smith. Now, Barbara is an author. She's a speaker, a coach, a trainer, chief training officer at Barbara Smith and Associates, and she has a television show, IBM TV. I'm really excited to have Barbara on the show today. Welcome to the show, Barbara.
Thank you so much, Juanita. It's always great to see you. Thank you for having me back again.
Yes, so Barbara interviewed on the show. Has it been a year yet? Again, it's been almost. Time is going by. So and it was so exciting. I have to have her back. We have to talk more about this because it's such exciting content. And we're talking about speaking today, and I can't wait to hear about this. But since that time, you're an author now.
Yes. My first book, which is a long time coming, 20 years in the making. I've had all of these wonderful training and speaking engagements and speaker opportunities. And people really think it's just about speakers, but it's not. We as human beings talk, but we talk a lot and not really pay attention to the listening part. Mm-hmm. We have a tendency to hear some of what the information is, but when information is being communicated properly, then there's more listening than talking. Mm-hmm. And so in this book, we talk some about how to formulate a conversation, how to get from point A to point B, how to be more effective in your speaking, whether you're going for a new job or whether you're speaking to your spouse or whether you're speaking to your child, how to get people, get this, influence them to do what you want them to do. Mm-hmm.
Influence and engage. I like that. So you're saying this is not just for someone on TV or the stage or on radio. This is for anyone
who wants to take their speaking and communication game to the next level. Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that. And so why is the book important to audiences, especially now?
Especially now, we're starting to come out of the pandemic, but we're doing a lot of conversation on Zoom, on Meet Fox. We're doing a lot of conversation on Google Meet over electronic media. Mm-hmm. And everybody is trying to find their place in the world, Juanita. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to convey your information and rise above the noise. There's so much noise. We're getting bombarded with information from TV, from radio, from the internet.
Right.
And so if you are a person that has to convey a message, maybe you're a supervisor, maybe you're a principal at a school, maybe you're a teacher, and people are not listening to you, it's because you're not communicating well.
Oh, I love that. If people are not listening, it's because you're not communicating. Perfect. Well, this past year has given us a lot of time to think about life after the pandemic. How will this change my life? What will I do differently? And one of the things that people are realizing is that my life has meaning.
Yes.
I want it to have more meaning. How can I communicate that? What do I do? And this is a perfect opportunity for something like this.
Yes, and that's a great point that you just made about what are we going to do after the pandemic. Well, for one thing, let's talk about what you did during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. This was a time for self-reflection, self-reimagination, self-determination. And if we didn't spend the time to figure out what's of value to us and what value we are to the world, that we missed one of the greatest opportunities in history. Because right now, more people are discovering themselves. Right now,
Yes.
more people are communicating with others, even though we're kind of shut in or shut out. We're trying to find and have found ways, better ways to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
And what better way to communicate with each other than understanding the language, human interaction language I'm talking about. Not English or Spanish or Japanese, but human interaction
How to
language.
connect with
How
each
to
other.
connect.
I think that's so very important. It's now we're talking more about this purpose-driven life, living on purpose.
Right.
My life has meaning. What can I do to make a difference?
Right.
Because we've seen the pain and suffering. And then even up front with the murder of George Floyd and watching that on national TV. And so the pain and the trauma and everything, watching these natural events unfold, you're thinking, okay, I've got to do something. My life has to mean something. And I think in order to do that, you have to feel some level of comfort in your communicating to
Right.
make sure that people are hearing you,
Right.
like you say. I absolutely love that. But this is, you say it's not just a self-help book.
No, it's not.
How is it different?
It's different because you're helping yourself. Yes, it is a self-help, but it has action inside. There are exercises that help you do self-inventory. What am I doing with my life? What things do I need to do to get to the next level? When I work with clients, I have several right now who are struggling with the fact that they've lost people during this pandemic.
Yeah.
They've lost people and they're shutting down. Some of the elderly people who are behind walls that people don't recognize or know that they're there. Because they're alone, they feel lonely. So how do you reach them? How do you communicate with them? Those are the types of things that I explore in the book. How do you get outside your comfort zone and not be fearful to talk to people? Because today, people are absolutely crazy. Am I right?
Crazy.
I'm on the road
Crazy.
and people are crazy. Like, I don't know if crazy went to a new level or what during this pandemic, but
Well, you keep people,
shut up,
shut
lock
up
down. Yeah.
for a period of time, and then all of a sudden we're starting to open back up, and it's, game's on. Oh,
And it's not a good thing, but you've
No.
got to be able to reach people. And
Yeah.
so, one of my clients I'm thinking of in particular has some depression issues.
yeah.
And so, how do you reach that person? And there are some techniques in the book that tell you how to reach out to other people.
We're going to talk more about that. This is so exciting. We're going to take a short break now. We will be right back. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome back to For the Common Good with Juanita. And I'm talking to Barbara Smith here today, and we're talking about her new book, Unleash the Speaker Within, talking about communicating with each other. Now, Barbara, you do a lot of coaching, obviously. So I want to talk about that and what exercises you use in coaching.
Okay. When we coach, first of all, we do a discovery call. That's first step. I discover what it is that this person or this company, what their goal is. What are you trying to achieve? What's your objective? Because without the objective, it's pointless to even start to coach. If you don't know where you're going, it's like getting in a car. You just get in the car and just ride around? No, you need to know what is your destination. And so the first thing we do is we do a discovery call. And we talk a lot about what it is the person wants. They do most of the talking, I do most of the jotting down and discovering what it is they're trying to get to. Because most of my clients all of my clients come to me when they're at a stage in their life where they know they're supposed to be doing something different,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
And so we talk a lot about, what did you like when you were young?
Mm-hmm.
We talk about, remember when you used to have imagination and you thought about what I'd be when I grow up. We talk about, how did you deviate
Mm-hmm.
from what you thought you would be to what you're doing now? And most importantly, are you happy with where you are?
Mm-hmm.
Normally the answer to that is no.
Are you living and not just existing?
Or thriving and not just surviving.
There you go.
So we talk a lot about that for coaching. And then we sit down together and talk about, what goals would you like to achieve?
Mm-hmm.
What did you not achieve by now, and what would you like to achieve? And then we map out a strategy and plan.
Wow. That is so awesome. So those are the exercises that you use. And you talk about affirmations.
Oh, ask any of my coaching clients, what is one thing that Miss Barbara tells them to do every day? And they'll say in unison, like a choir, affirmations. So affirmations are really key. It's one of the exercises I use, because the first thing after the discovery session we work on is your mindset. I ask my clients all the time, if somebody came up to you and told you that you were fat and you were ugly and you were out of shape and you didn't do this and you didn't do that, would those be fighting words? And they say, of course they'd be fighting words. Well, then why do you say those things to yourself?
Yes.
Why do you allow yourself to say those things to yourself? And so affirmations, the I am affirmations specifically,
Yes.
help you with those self-talk girls and boys in your head. And so I actually get them to create an avatar for that self-talk. Mine is Dizzy Delilah. She's dizzy and she kind of has this little voice that says, Barbara, you're not going to do this. And I go, okay, Dizzy, that's enough. We're not doing you today. So talking to yourself is one of the key tools with affirmations. I am powerful. I am beautiful.
Speak life.
I am strong.
Speak life.
I am perfectly, wonderfully, and magnificently made. I am a child of the King.
I love it.
You know? And so when you say that to yourself enough times,
Speak it into existence.
speak those things that are not as though they were.
Exactly.
That's how I got a TV show, by the way.
Ah.
I was watching Steve Harvey talk about his past life. And he was saying how he lived in his car and he had all this trouble and trauma in his life. And then one day he looked up and he had a radio show. And he kept saying to the audience, do you believe Steve Harvey has a radio show? Do you believe Steve Harvey had a radio show? And I thought to myself, I've always wanted to have a TV show. And I got in the mirror for 2 consecutive weeks, Juanita.
Wow.
And I said, do you believe Barbara Smith has a TV show? Do you believe Barbara Smith has a TV show? Do you believe Barbara Smith has a TV show? 2 weeks later, I got a call from this guy that I'm doing the Black Business Expo with next week. And he said, I got to do a show tonight and I don't want to do it. I said, I'll do it for you in your place. He said, you'll do the show. Yes, I'll do the show. You'll do the show. Yes, I'll do the show. He said, if you do the show, that means you need to do the show like every Tuesday night. Have you ever thought of having your own TV show? And I went, once or twice or 3 times, I thought about it. So he said, I'm going to give you the show. And I got a TV show on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. IBM TV Network. Whoop, whoop. Let's go.
It works. Speak it into existence. There you go. Affirmations. A perfect example that it does work. Yes. Stop speaking all this negativity.
Yes.
It just won't happen that way.
Because your subconscious doesn't care.
Yes.
It just goes on what you say.
Yes.
And what you believe.
Exactly.
Because you can speak it and still not believe it. Let me say that again, because that's powerful. You can speak a thing and still not believe it. But it doesn't happen until the power of faith comes into place.
Yeah, I always say once it's in your spirit, in your being, not just a belief, but a knowing in your soul.
Yes.
That makes the difference. we're going to talk about Represent Your Brand. Whoa, tell us about Represent Your Brand. What exactly is that?
Represent Your Brand is actually a writing course. Don't tell nobody. But no one would come to my writing course if I said it was a writing course, right? So I called it Represent Your Brand. And what you do here is you are shown what to say. All of us have been asked this question, right? So what do you do? And then you have literally 8 seconds to convince a person that they should listen to you.
Right.
And when they listen to you, they're really not asking, what do you do? They're asking, what can you do for me? What's in it for me? And when you tell them that, now they're listening. So the first thing I teach is how to do an elevator pitch. It's straight, forward, succinct, and clear. So when someone asks me, let's role play. Ask me, ask me, ask me.
Barbara, tell me, what do you do?
I help people communicate better what they do, what they have, what they bring to the table, and why anybody should care.
And you heard it on For the Common Good with Juanita. Welcome back to For the Common Good with Juanita, and I'm talking to Barbara Smith, and we've been talking about her book, Unleash the Speaker Within, and conversations, and how to have those conversations, the importance of those conversations, how to get started. But we're going to talk about her masterclass, and this has got to be an awesome. You have a masterclass every week, right? Tell us more about this masterclass.
Yes, I'm using Unleash the Speaker Within as a master class. This class is so much fun. It happens on Tuesdays and twice a day. Tuesdays at 8 in the morning for the early birds, and at 9:15 after the Barbara H. Smith show. So I am on platform like all day that day. So it's 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's by invitation. So if you want to be invited, you just simply go to my website, www.barbarahsmith.com, and send me a contact. Contact me there and say, I want to be part of the masterclass. You will get an invitation, a Zoom invitation link, and we talk a lot about how to create those communication pieces. As a speaker, as a person who is asked constantly, what do? We take your story and we craft it right there in the class. So for example, people don't know that the difference between an introduction and a biography is huge. How many times have you been to an event? And in the old days, I want to call them, you would get a program and you would read through the program. And then the person would get up to introduce you, or the person who's going to speak, and they would reread the bio. I think that's disrespectful, because adults can read. So why are you reading to me, right? So what I do is separate the two, and I show people how to separate the two. For example, a bio talks about your education and what schools you went to and where you're from and all those things. But when someone takes my introduction, which I've written, and I've written it in third person, it sounds something like this. Coming to the stage right now, ladies and gentlemen, this young lady was an engineer by age 3. She was an instructor by age 8. And by the ripe old age of 16, she was a race car driver. Help me welcome to the platform, Miss Barbara H. Smith. Now, what are you thinking when you say that? When somebody says that as an introduction, who is this girl? Right? You've intrigued the audience to sit on the edge of their seats.
Leaving them there on the edge of their seats.
Right. So that's what we do.
Tell me about your television show.
Oh, so exciting. The show is all about news you can use and people in the community who might not otherwise get a chance to be on a TV show. And so we bring them to the platform. We talk about their business, but we also talk about how they communicate to get their business out, to get their product or service out, so that people who are either in business or if they are students that want to be entrepreneurs, and most all of ours are business owners. Matter of fact, all of our guests are business owners that own businesses that are trying to promote their business.
And how does someone get on the show?
Well, you simply go to support@thebhsshow.com and apply to be, it's a launch program for marketing your business on my show.
That is so awesome. You have the opportunity to speak all over.
Yes.
And you are international.
Yes, I am international. As a matter of fact, just got an invitation to speak in Nairobi, Kenya.
Yay!
I'm so excited. I can hardly stand it. I'm sitting here and I just I was on a call on the way over to the show today, and I got the information call on what's going to happen when we get to Nairobi. So I walk into the Juanita Farrow show and I'm like, oh, I got a call. So I've been invited, and I am speaking on the platform with the Ruben West. In addition to that, I have the opportunity to speak during the Black Business Expo next week. I'm going to be a moderator as well as a presenter for the 7th through the 13th, June 7th through the 13th. This have already aired, will have already been gone by then. But there's another one coming up in August.
Okay.
It is one of the largest Black business showcases in the history of Black America and in the world. 100 speakers on platform.
Ooh.
100
awesome.
speakers on platform from all different businesses and industries. And they get to present their information on this platform.
Well, you are busy indeed.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, when will your book be available for order?
July, it's available for order now. It's in pre-launch.
Okay.
But July the 17th, the book will be hot in the hands of anybody who wants to purchase it on Amazon.
Amazon. Okay. Well, you heard it right here on For the Common Good with Juanita. Thank you so much, Barbara, for being on the show. I just love what you do, and I love the energy that you bring.
Thank you so much, Juanita, for having me.
So keep on doing what you're doing. And thank you for listening to For the Common Good with Juanita. We'll see you next time.